What's up, guys? My name is WillyG. I'm going to be bringing you guys another deck profile, but this time I'm going to be doing it over my computer. Sorry about the quality. Once I full screen my Dev Pro, some of the pictures get a little bit grainy. But I'm bringing you guys a profile on Artifact Inzektors. Uh, there was a couple builds I saw online, at least, that were playing Artifact Inzektors. Well, they swapped the names, but Molotek was at 3 during that time. And even while it's at 1, it gives you more of a reason to play Scythe, and Scythe has some of the better control, because while this does make your opponent neg, this stops your opponent entirely. You know, where they can still go into extra deck plays after you make them neg, or their neg isn't really that hard on them. But this is really good against field spells and face-up continuous cards that have a problem. You know, if you sanctum this out against a Di-Fi macro, that's really powerful. Or you can even chain MSTs to it. And one of my favorite things is that you not only do you have Hornet Pop, but you also have 6 MSTs that are live in the deck. And I'll just get right into it. And for my sideboard over here, I'll just explain why I don't run some of the cards that I do or do not run. For the Inzektor engine, you have one of Gigamantis. He's like a Monster Reborn, but he also makes your dudes 24 standard. So him and Ladybug is 24 Ladybug. Hopper, when you unequip him, then you're able to attack directly that turn, which really synergizes well with Centipede, because Centipede is your searcher. So you'll go like Centipede, attach, detach, effect, search for Excalibur. Centipede now swings 24 directly, and if you get rid of Centipede while it has this equipped to it, you get Centipede back the next turn. So it just keeps coming. And then you already have one of that in your graveyard after you use its effect, so you'll be able to set up for next turn. Centipede is your Rhoda. It says Inzektor card, so you can search for your Excalibur. You could even search for cards like Zektahawk, but these are your main searches: your Dragonfly, your Hornet, and your Gigamantis. You'll usually search for one of these 3 if you're missing the other ones, because opening Dragonfly, Hornet, and Gigamantis as early as possible will let you win just about any game. Dragonfly lets you special summon each instance that an equipped card is unequipped to it. So if you go effect, attach Hornet, which let me really explain quickly. Hornet pops things when it's unequipped by its own effect. So you go Dragonfly, effect to attach Hornet, then you equip Gigamantis with its own effect to something, and then you pop Gigamantis with Hornet, and you get a double special summon. So you get 2 Centipedes, and then with the first Centipede, you'll usually search for Excalibur, and then the second Centipede, you'll equip Hornet to it and Excalibur to your Dragonfly, and you will pop the Excalibur with your Hornet, and then you will be able to special summon an additional time. You'll get to add Gigamantis from your graveyard back to your hand, and you will also get a search. So you can search for the second Excalibur for the play. Because having 1 is really good, but having 2 is more of an insurance that you'll be able to get the OTK off more than like just the first time. Especially if you have an additional 1 on board. And lastly, we have Inzektor Ladybug. This one can increase levels of any monster. I didn't know that at first, so you can make your artifacts into level 7s really easily for this card. And I do play the Draco Sack'em guy just because of this. I don't want to have the play available and not go into it when I'm in a spot where I need to. And also Ladybug, Hornet, both give plus attack increase as well. Both of them give 500. For my artifact engine, I'm playing Triplicate of Scythe. Stops your opponent from going into the extra deck. Moral Attack, really still amazing. I love this card, but I don't think I'd play it at more than 2 unless I was playing a lot more control based of a version. I mean, I would cut the card cars for 2 more of these, and then I'd probably cut another one for something else. Probably like a double cyclone or something. Then I do play 2 Bagel Talk. He helps pop all of your sets. I play 1 of Aegis because Dark Hole and Raigeki are really popular, and a lot of people like to use them. Especially like if you go into this first and then you special summon multiple artifacts after that, they can't hurt you with torrential or bottomless because they both have to destroy. And I just think 1 of Aegis is better than 1 of Caduceus. Even though Caduceus lets you draw cards, it's it's okay because you'd rather have Aegis than Caduceus though, honestly, because this one can protect itself, whereas Caduceus it just kind of sits there and lets you maybe draw 2 cards while it exists. But you'd rather have defense and then be able to make a play based off of that because you have a monster remaining. Um, I also like Lancia a lot, but I don't see mainboarding it to be that huge of a deal, especially when you have the perfect engine to run Lancia in the side. You can side triplicate of it to make the most out of its effect, and you will usually see it. You could literally just take out 3 card cards for 3 Lancia, and you'd probably be okay. Especially considering what you would be fighting against that you want to stop. You know, say you don't have the Scythe play. Say you just have this in your hand and you have artifacts, or say you have like Centipede on board. You can easily stop Ritual Beasts. You can stop from being trished. You can stop even the mirrors from being banished early. It's just really good to open up against a few decks right now. And another card I like a lot is Labrys. It swings for 23, which is really neat. I think it's a good number for right now. But the thing that is the most neat about it is when a artifact card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard. So even if Artifact Sanctum or Artifact Ignition, I know they get their secondary effects, but if they are destroyed, then you can just bop it from your hand. And it also works with any of these. So like if Bagel Top pops like an Aegis or something, you can still slap this on the board. It resolves first, I believe. But I used to like this a lot in the original just Artifact build. Now I don't like it so much because you have better filling places. Like Centipede does more work than this. Um, things like that. For the last of my monsters, I play Triplet of Card Cardi. This is a really good card for artifacts, especially because you'll set a bunch of stuff and then you'll card cart, and then you can react during your opponent's turn, depending on what they're doing. With these two especially, and being able to draw cards is never bad in this deck, especially because you want them to react to your summons. You want them to torrential a card cardi and not a Centipede. For my spells, I play Triple of Upstart, Triple Pot of Duality. This is surprisingly good. Like, a lot of people would probably say cut it to 2, but the times where you'll get this will really benefit you. Like, if you can top deck a Sanctum or a Centipede early and just get your engine rolling, then there's no reason not to play Triple Pot. And you do only have 1 Dragonfly, and all of your artifact monsters special summon themselves during your opponent's turn. So Pot Triple of is good. I run the Triple MST and then Triple Ignition. Any deck that can play artifacts that isn't just the 3 Sanctum, 3X should probably be playing Triple Ignition as well. Not just to get your pop effects off, but because you will also need to clear out back row. And I think this is probably my favorite part about the deck, is that you can run 6 MST, and 3 of them have an additional effect. I honestly think that's one of my favorite parts about the deck. For some more spells, I play 2 of Zet-Caliber. If I had some changes I would make to the deck, I'd play a smaller monster count. Like, I would probably play like 1 Ladybug, or I would play no card car, something like that. And I'd like take in another artifact monster, and then I'd probably take in like Double Cyclone or Raigeki and Book of Moon. That's most of like why I wanted to talk about. Like, Double Cyclone's great in the mono artifact build, but since I am running both, I don't think it's as prevalent. Yeah, you can still get off like that cheesy Gigamantis play, which is what I was originally doing. I would roll up to locals, and I would just show off the deck before I even got to play it because I didn't have the extra deck finished. And I just double cycle and pop Gigamantis, double search, and just all sorts of nuts from there. But I decided to not main it right now because card is much more consistent. Uh, Lastly, I play Triple Sanctum, Double Fiendish Chain, Double Call of the Haunted. These are really good with your artifact monsters, especially because you can just get their effects off and you get a free level 5 on board, usually with like 21 or 22 attack, or 21 and 25 defense. Then Fiendish Chain is also just for attack mitigation. For my extra deck, I do play the Sack Big Eye, Adrius, Pleiades, Volcasaurus, the Dunder Sword itself. Just fantastic card. Well, very well designed because of how it's worded. It says that effect becomes. So how it would work is they'd just be like, they could just be like Upstart Goblin, and you're like, your Upstart Goblin's effect is now to destroy one of my spell or trap cards. And if you only have like a Sanctum and an Ignition set, you can chain it, and you can do all sorts of things because that counts as them being destroyed by your opponent. So you get the double pop, or you get them to skip their next battle phase. Shark Fortress for the blessed OTK with the Inzektors, which I'll show off in another few minutes. Exostag, it's like a Ghetto Big Eye, but it also can get big, especially if you pull the right monsters with it. Castell, Abyss Dweller, only the 2/4s because it's harder to go into unless you're really trying to, like if you need to get rid of a problem card. Acid Golem, especially with the Shark Fortress OTK because it's 24 and then 6, which is really easy to pull off as well. Giga Brilliant, especially if you can get an additional like 3 or 4 monsters on board, it can be more damage than Acid Golem in some cases. Alucard, Engineer, and Zinmains. That is it for my main deck. I'm going to go briefly over what I would change about the deck. So, artifacts are great, and Inzektors are great. The main reason I really wanted to play these together is because Shadow and Light Imprisoning Mirrors were very common at my locals. I was scared to play Dark Worlds because people cited triple Shad Imps against Burning Abyss and Shaddoll because they were prevalent at the time when I was creating this, and I didn't like losing to just one of the mirrors, so Moral Attack is great for stopping the Shadow Mirror, and Hornet's great for stopping the Light Mirror. Especially because you can search it with the other. You have really, really good search cards. You also have plenty of main deck MST, but you could side additional things like Twister, or you could side Dust Tornado. But that's been my Artifact Inzektor deck profile. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Otherwise, this is WillyG signing out.